Good evening. Today is November 4th, 2025, and the time is 7:06 p.m. This meeting of the Youth Commission is now called to order. My name is Carrie Wolf, and I am the Vice Chair for the Youth Commission. This open meeting of the Northborough Youth Commission is being conducted in person and remotely, consistent with Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2025 relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency. All members of the Youth Commission are allowed and encouraged to participate either in person or remotely. The Act allows the Northborough Youth Commission to meet entirely in person and remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless the chair notes otherwise. Members of the public who wish to view the live stream or the recordings of this meeting may do so by going to the Northborough Remote Meetings on YouTube via the link listed on the agenda. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Erica Zeiger. Here. Judy Boyle. Mary Wolf here. Jeremy Moyer.
Here.
Oh, I have such an odd list in order. Apologies. I'm going to jump to Sue Oger.
Here.
Jen Parsons.
Here.
Ashley Clebenow.
Here.
Joan Clementi. And then youth liaisons, Jeremy Moyer. Thank you. Arjun Mukherjee.
Here.
Emma Parsons, absent, and Allison Dennehy, thank you. And then staff, when I call your names, please respond in the affirmative. Liz Nolan. Here. Caitlin Mitchell. Here. Mary Ellen Duggan, our school liaison, absent, and Isabella also.
Thank you. Welcome. Everyone is doing well after our time change. I don't know if you have access to the agenda. If you do, that's great. If not, no worries at all. The first item is to approve the meeting minutes. However, Carrie helped me realize that I don't think I sent them. So we can just do it at the next meeting. So I think a motion for that. So if someone wants to make a motion to extend approving the minutes for October 7th until our December meeting.
I move to extend reviewing and approving the October meeting minutes until our December meeting.
And then a second. I think it has to be one of you.
I'll second.
Okay, perfect. So all in favor?
Aye.
So the meeting minutes the extension of the meeting minutes for October 7th will be delayed until our December meeting. So thank you. I did get a chance to email with Mary Ellen Duggan, and she didn't have too much from the schools. But she was unable to make it, so I'm just gonna pull up her email quickly so I don't miss anything. The Metro West Health Survey, I feel like I'm missing something in there. She put the MWHS is being administered in the next few weeks. We anticipate the preliminary highlights, the end of March, beginning of April, and then they're developing a 2-year roadmap that incorporates other data sources too. So I think that's fantastic. That was, if you recall, that was what Emily had briefed us on last month. Jeremy, have you ever taken it yet, or you've heard it?
Took it once, like at the beginning of the year.
You did, okay, you took something,
Mhm.
okay, Because I think this is even another one, this is the longer one, I think, so, let us know. Let us know after you take it, what you thought of it, and, we can kind of go from there with that. I know do you have anything, Jeremy, from the schools, or just the normal? Just the normal stuff, they've got a lot of activities going on for the high schoolers. So that's kind of it. I was able to reach out to Mrs. Burns at the high school, and she's the chair of the social studies department. And she was really excited to talk with us, and she had a lot of different ideas for us to get involved with that group. One of them was, she said in the past, and I don't remember this, they had voter registration at school. So, that's something I thought we could look into doing, maybe in the, well, I'll see what she thinks, but maybe in the spring. Setting up a table and seeing how many we can get registered. So, what do you think?
Maybe potentially even earlier, if anyone wants to do town meeting and May elections.
Yes, we can find,
Yeah, so maybe like March.
so we can, because some of those kids will be 18.
Yeah,
So maybe we can talk with the town, there's a new town clerk. Talk with her and see when they would need to vote, like when would they need to be registered in order to vote, because again, I forgot about the May elections. So if that sounds like something I'm happy to look into that.
yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I think also maybe educating them on absentee ballots for when, if they go off to college. That could
Oh,
be part
that's
of it.
one, yeah,
Yeah,
that's a very good one, and it's like this, yeah, it's great. So I can go ahead and do that, and were we able to get any info from Melican at all?
I did reach out to, I'm blanking on her name. Julie Moranci.
Yeah.
I did reach out to her. I haven't heard back yet. I know they had conferences. So I'm sure things are a little frenetic over there, but if I don't hear back from her, I'll reach out again.
Yeah, that sounds good. I was thinking about it, and I think the high school is probably the better age group to target.
Mm-hmm.
First, maybe, because with the 8th grade, I know there's so much they have. They get a lot of civics, and they do a end of school project, but I think it would be good if we could reach them, and maybe they wanna like come in and show us their project, or something like that, if they're interested, if they still do that. I know, do you remember, Jen?
I don't remember. I can ask Emma though.
Yeah, I think, I don't, they have to do some type of project.
Yeah, I remember she
about-
did it for Miss Salt's class. Let me make a note and I'll ask her what they did.
Yeah, so yeah, so we can kind of, when she gets back to us, I think it would be a nice goal if we could have 2, activities, maybe the voter registration, or they do a lot of volunteering, they need service hours. So always reach out to them as well and see what ideas the National Honor Society has, National Social Studies Honor Society.
Mm-hmm.
And then, maybe something we can kind of work with the teachers, the social studies teachers at Melican, if they would be interested in doing something too, without giving them too much to do and not giving us too much to do as well.
Right.
Something that, any other suggestions? Yeah. Can't really think of anything else, but I think that's good. I think that's a really good start to have, 2 different avenues to go to. I do still want to get in touch with Northborough Media. I think it would be fun if we could do maybe not just town involvement, but if we could do something on the youth commission and see if they have time to do like a 5 to 10 minute what do you call it? Intro, yeah, like a 5 minute, there's a certain word I'm thinking of, but. That way we can kind of get our name out there that we come back after a couple of years, so we can reach out to them as well. Anything else? We're gonna go over the reports in a second, but any other updates from the board? Do you want to? I can do some of the director's report, or do you have it?
Oh, we can do it.
Okay, and then yeah, let's do, I think, even though I don't have it, I think let's do the director's report and then we can go into the different calendars and the different events.
Yeah, so we're gonna just tag team on it. So kind of just starting off with some program updates. Basically, our metrics for the month of October, we had 16 clients, 4 returning clients. Most of our requests were for housing, utilities, food, and employment. We did refer 2 clients to Helping Hands for emergency funds this month. Other ongoing programming, mostly on my end. We're in, this week is week 5 out of 6 for Girls United, so we are ending next week. It's been a great program so far. The girls are from 6th, 7th, and 8th. Hopefully they've been enjoying the different activities. Liz and Isabella has been joining me. One of them has been joining me once every week. So
I've been having a good time.
you had having a, yeah, you were good at charades
I
with the girls.
If you do ever need another person, I mean, I know it's the end, but if you do ever need another person, I'm sure one of us would love to kind of jump in with.
Yeah, we'll see where we're hopeful. Hopefully for the spring. I know like some girls weren't able to make it or time constraints and group dynamics are important. So, but hopefully we can get those girls to come back and then hopefully new girls to come. So far it's been great with everybody who's been there and really trying to apply my curriculum to and make it fun like we did. Game kind of talking about relating to communication and how it can be misinterpreted. It's like mad gab. So it's like it's for mad gab is like a word that doesn't look like a word, but it sounds like a word or a phrase. So
were you able to create the curriculum or is it based
no, I created the curriculum.
That's excellent.
So and basically just showed it to Rec and Isabella just to get input because it's nice to get input along with my clinical supervisor. So yeah,
that's great.
Just separate note, I have a clinical supervisor for my licensure. So I have to receive supervision. So and then just started this week at Peasley, growth mindset group with Courtney from Family Success Partnership or FSP. So we'll see how that group goes.
How long is that?
I think we're timelining at 6 weeks again.
Okay, it's about
So, small group.
Small group is like 45 minutes to an hour.
Probably about that.
So-
Yeah, it's during school, so
it's
it's Monday mornings, so we're just school reported a level of need for this group, so we were with FSP. FSP agreed that we could join collab on this. So not only I can learn from FSP's knowledge and we can brainstorm together on this small little group.
Are there specific grade groups you're working with, or how are you figuring out the cohorts? That's really cool.
This one, the growth mindset group was from the school. They decided the cohort of grades. So, or like of the in like the kids that needed it. So that was their discretion. Girls United was chosen by us to focus on 6th, 7th, and 8th. We just wanted to expand it to give more. I think it's also good because I feel like the girls are learning from each other in each of their separate grades. So like a little bit younger and then, a little bit older preparing for high school. So they give different experiences. Like I just think of one experience where one of the 6th grade girls was talking about a project she's working on, and the 7th and 8th grade girls were like, "Oh my gosh, I remember that project. I loved it." And it was good to have that relation. And
It's another community. You're
Yeah.
creating another community.
yeah, and it's been nice. They're a good group.
Oh, that's
So-
great. That's awesome.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how I feel next Thursday.
Yeah,
Be a little sad. But yeah, I think we're hopeful to continue or do it again in the spring. So hopefully with the same curriculum, just more of an outline of topics. So yeah, that's Girls United
Yeah.
and the Growth Mindset Group.
Is that boys and girls?
It's just right now it's boys.
It's boys, okay.
But
It could be.
It wasn't, we're not determining.
They're okay.
Who we're choosing, and then also parental consent too.
Oh, yeah.
Is another reason, because we are taking kids out of class.
Yeah,
So, but this was up to school
that's okay.
on what the kids they wanted to be participants in this group, and then also parents consenting to it as well. So, yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah, do you want me to do that after? Oh, yeah, so I will also update that drop-in hours this month. I had 2 people come at the library, book club, so Words of Wellness, The Anxious Generation we read in October. We had 6 people come to book club. It was nice because we had a mixture, some teachers / parents themselves, and just individuals. So it was a good book club session. So it was nice to have 6 people again. Yeah, and then I'll let you finish the rest of our highlights for the month.
So yes, other October highlights. So Caitlin and I filmed the Heat Assistance video, kind of informational of what it is and what's available to people who need assistance with that. And that is through the Northborough Media Connection, and that did go live on October 21st, which kind of correlates with the heating season of November 1st through April 30th. So if you haven't seen it, it's full of information. I think works out well.
Very good.
You saw it?
I'm surprised I didn't say anything about it.
It looks great.
Well, thank you.
We are an intake site, so just a reminder.
Yeah.
Right, and we have been seeing a little bit of an uptick, and now that it's colder out and heat has been actually used, so we foresee that increasing with everything else that is going on. We did have the blood drive in October. We were able to collect 35 units in the end. They were very happy with that, and the next one we are going to plan in April, so keep you posted on that date. There were flu clinics that were held. We also hosted our first Lunch and Learn, which is a webinar that we're doing once a month to highlight different parts of the department. So it won't necessarily be Caitlin and I, what we work on, but it could be the health department as well, like their septic inspections and a lot of things that people don't realize our department does, just to bring awareness. So that was on resource navigation. So that highlighted a lot of the assistance programs that we work with and that people applied for with us. We also had a presence at the trunk retreat at the senior center, which was well attended, and there is a video on Northborough Media Connection as well on that. If you haven't caught it yet, it's fun to look at. And we brought awareness to domestic violence by wearing purple on the Domestic Violence Awareness Day.
So for upcoming outreach and education opportunities, again, we're having another lunch and learn with myself and Emily, who was here last time, on Tuesday, November 18th from 12 to 12:30 on Zoom. I will be talking about holidays and kind of mental health. Emily is it with talking with parents?
Yeah, Emily's gonna be talking about how, you know, parents, especially during the holiday time, it gives you a good opportunity to you know, have conversations with your kids and build that relationship so that when you have to talk about the difficult things, about like, you know, substance use and delaying substance use, you have that relationship already built. So she's gonna just be talking about that topic along with Caitlin's on that next one, which is
So-
November 18th, did we say
Yeah,
that?
November 18th from 12 to 12:30. Yeah, so that's kind of the topic for this month for Lunch and Learn. Words of Wellness. We have You're Not Listening, What You're Missing and Why It Matters by Kate Murphy. That's also on November 18th at 6 p.m. at the Northborough Library in the Teen and Adult Program Room. So just talking about listening skills and how to work on building it more. We're just busy on November 18th.
It's a big day. It happened that way.
Yeah, it just happened unintentionally. We are gonna be meeting with the Northborough Junior Women's Club with their wellness committee on that date as well. I think that's later in the evening during their meeting time. And then the fun thing, Penny is our regional public health nurse, got invited to be reading a book at the library this month for their community helpers month. So I know for myself, that will be November 14th. We'll be reading to toddlers a book. So that's my date.
Fun though, right?
Yeah, so just describing to the kids, these little kids, it's the toddlers or like the preschoolers. You can look on the calendar at the library. There's a couple of different, I think there's been a couple of different people already this week just reading stories and explaining what they do and how they help the community to both toddlers and preschoolers. So that's our fun little thing.
Some other things we wanted just to share is obviously the SNAP benefits with the government shutdown has been a big issue. You know, we haven't had a lot of phone calls, but people are nervous, and now that we know that they should be added back to their card, it's a matter of when will they be added back to their SNAP card. That is ongoing concern. So we are trying to look at other resources for them for food. You know, the town has on Wednesdays, the community meals at Trinity Church at 6 o'clock. So we, and as well as the food pantry is always available as well. And we're just hoping that it's kind of a short-lived thing and that their funding gets back to normal sooner than later. But in the meantime, we do have a food resource guide that is on our website, and we also have a booklet that can be gotten from our office. And that just gives local as well as other in the area type of resources for people. But the main ones that we're suggesting is the food pantry, which is available once a week to residents. And what's the one?
What community meal?
Community meals, and there's a third one. Yeah, anyway, it's they can reach out to us and we can offer those resources for them. We're also organizing a food collection that will support the Northborough Food Pantry. We have drop-off boxes through Allure Hair Spa, Central One Federal Credit Union, the Northborough Library, and there's one at the entrance at Town Hall as well. So we're hoping that we see, I think the community always is very generous, and I already picked up a bunch from the library that from just 2 days. So that I will bring that over to the food pantry probably tomorrow morning. But there's a good response. And then the Boy Scouts they're scouting for food this weekend as well. So I feel like the food pantry will be well stocked, at least initially for November. Hopefully, the SNAP benefits get added back on and people can kind of get back to normal on that. And I think the last thing that Isabella wanted to say is that our next meeting, the library director, Jennifer Bruneau, will be presenting about the recent health and wellness library survey. They worked with a consultant to develop initiatives that will meet the health and wellness needs and interests of the Northborough community. So that should be an interesting meeting.
That sounds,
Oh, and I have to update you on our social media because you know I'm all about that. So Facebook has now reached 238, which is great, and Instagram finally hit the 100 mark of followers. We're at 106.
Sounds great. I don't think I had a chance to email it to you, but, the calendar, I thought we could kind of go over some of the events and then we could brainstorm a little bit about how we can, maybe support them more or, anything that we can do. If you recall, when did the health department and Youth and Family Services merge? Was it
It was April of
2024, I think
Okay.
you're telling me.
so, and I may have said this again before, so I apologize. So prior to 2024, there was the health department and there was Youth and Family Services. And the Youth Commission is actually was an advisory group to Youth and Family Services. There was a different director, she has since retired, and they did things a little bit different than when the two departments merged. So for us, we've been meeting in this group, I think January or February of this year was our first meeting. So we're all kind of brainstorming and learning on the go. We did our goals and our mission, and I don't have them with me, so I'm sure they're somewhere here. But it's basically to be the eyes and ears of the community, support HHS with whatever they need, and provide outreach. I think I got them. So from there, we can kind of, do whatever we want. I know that Jeremy and Arjun were at Applefest. Very exciting. I went to one of the elementary school open houses. That was really fun. So there's a lot of different things, but we're definitely always looking. We need ideas. We need, the suggestions as well. I know the food issue is always a big deal. It's just bigger now. And then March, April is another time, April into June. So maybe we could look at helping them with another food drive or doing I always like the idea of a specific food drive. I know you did the toiletries, diapers is a good one, formula. Toilet paper, napkins, things like that a lot of people just don't think about. So that's an idea, but any ideas were welcome, we're open to them, or any of the well, not any of the events, but many of the events that Caitlin offers, we could go and just kind of sit in and see what we can learn, and the virtual ones that Liz sends out in the emails are pretty informative too. Any suggestions?
I think, so, I don't know if you guys did this, but Algonquin, they do like a bunch of food drives, like. They get like teachers, like ask their students to like collect pasta, like points and stuff.
Okay, that's good to know.
They usually get like a bunch of people bring stuff in,
And then do they bring it over?
they bring it somewhere.
They bring it to probably the food pantry here.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. And again, if anyone has any connections with Assabet, St. John's, we've got some kids that go there. We would love to kind of get them involved. It's just not as easy to make those connections.
I would also add that as part of Product 351, I'm working with like there's like we're doing our food drive for like November, like in late November. And I'm working with people in Shrewsbury for that. But I can also talk to them about moving it to centers in Northborough. I would just need to like figure out which ones to do it at. And that one is in support of Project Bread, but that would also be going to the food pantries as well.
That's great. Great.
Erica, I can only speak for Lincoln Street School, but I know that they are continuously looking for opportunities to coordinate and collaborate with the community for events. And I know our principal there, and I think she'd be fine if I said this. She's always looking for things that she can get students engaged in that help contribute to the larger population. I'm happy to bring up to her if, you know, I know that they do a food drive annually, but if there are specific needs, and I know there's so much drive around Thanksgiving and the holidays, but there's also those downtimes in between.
Yeah,
I'm happy to bring that up to them and see if we can start something from that perspective.
that would be great. And then anything else besides a food pantry, if there's something that we can think can help the community, we can definitely think of that as well. I'd love to do like a fun event too, you know,
Yeah.
yeah. So Ashley,
Oh, I was just gonna say, I'm not sure if everyone's aware of the community fridge as well. It's outside of the food pantry, but they are not connected. So if people are only allowed to use the food pantry once a week to do a large shopping trip, the community fridge is always available 24/7, but it requires a lot of assistance to upkeep it as well. So always looking for volunteers for cleaning and filling, and anyone can stop by and drop off at any point and pick up at any
Ashley,
point.
who organizes that?
So right now there's a private Facebook group. It was originally put there by the Fitzgerald Community School.
Okay.
But it's community run. So there's a Facebook page that has recently gone private. And it's called the Northborough Friend Fridge. I think Diane Batista is like the admin for that group.
Okay.
But the kindergarten class of 2022, I believe, that was their yearly project that they put together.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Also, add to the friend, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was also going to say, I learned recently, and I'm not sure, I would want to double check with our specific food pantry. But since the need with the SNAP benefits recently, I learned that monetary donations can actually go sometimes like 6 times further than actual food donations for food pantries. So I'd want to look into that as well, because if it's more beneficial for the community to fundraise instead of get actual goods, I'd want to see if that's beneficial as well.
yeah, one of the things I remember, I managed food pantry years and years ago, was you have the most basic foods, and then someone comes in and they need this specialized. I worked for the military, so it was babies. We had so many children. They needed, this special infant formula, and they had already used WIC, and then we didn't have that on hand. So the monetary donations would be great, because then we would go purchase, we could purchase it, and then they would come back in and pick it up, or we would deliver it to them. And a lot of times they need meat, they need protein. And it's, aside from that, I see they, tuna and salmon, but trying to get them fresh food, especially this time of the year when the farms are kind of, closing up. So I think monetary is great. It's I guess it'd be hard in the schools, but I think the monetary donations are so important.
I was just going to just add on to add, just talk about the Friend Fridge. I know a lot of their donations used to come from Hannaford's.
Yeah.
When Hannaford's closed, donations have been very limited, and I don't think they have a bigger store necessary to donate. So that was a big loss.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, they haven't been able to find another store to substitute that. So donations from the community is really important. And I know like that, like you said, it kind of fills in between, you know, their stop at the food pantry during the week.
Do you know if, Ashley, maybe, you know, do you know if they reached out to Panera at any point?
I believe, you know, at its height, they had Trader Joe's donations. They had donations from different companies almost daily, and they had volunteers doing runs. So I'm not positive about Panera specifically, but that would be a good one to reach out to. It's also a good opportunity. Like people leave if it's properly packaged and everything. People will leave like homemade meals and goods, which I know is a little different from food pantry things. It's like there's prepared meals there where people can pick up and kind of heat it up and instead of groceries.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. Thank you. Sue?
So I had this other idea, which is not food related, but years ago when I was helping run the coat drive, I remember this girl, high school age girl, came in, and we always like picked their coat, and then there was always a table of extra things, like go grab another item that wasn't a coat, maybe a sweatshirt. And there was an Algonquin sweatshirt. It was like a Champion sweatshirt, and she couldn't believe that she could take it. She was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know, it's fine." So it just made me think that maybe we could have students who've graduated or students who've outgrown things donate clothing that's like, it doesn't have to just be Algonquin, it could be any of the schools, clothing back. So I like my kids have stuff in their closets that they either don't fit or they're off to college and they'll probably never wear again because I don't know, they've moved on. That they're not thinking is like that valuable. But for a kid who like wouldn't otherwise be able to go to the school store or a sports store to get that, maybe we could encourage that. And it would be kind of I think the students would be like, they'd feel good about it, you know?
Fantastic idea.
Totally agree, Sue. We've had a few people contribute old Lincoln Street gear, and
Yeah.
you would not believe the smiles on some of these kids' faces whose parents they just can't.
Yeah.
And
it's
then
just,
when
it's
they
an extra. Yeah.
Yeah, they go to the nurse and they come back with it and they're told, no, you keep that. That goes so far for community.
Yeah, and I think that most people, like I wouldn't have thought of it if had I not experienced that with that high schooler. And actually, it had a name on it, and I just told her like, just get a safety pin and like while you're watching TV, rip out that name. Like it'll take you a little bit. And anyway, so maybe we could make that into some sort of fun thing for the kid. I don't know how to market it, but we could sort of come up with some fun idea for kids. And I don't know, again, you know, we could do it maybe through Helping Hands, or we could do it through some other vehicle directly through the schools, through the nurses or something.
Yeah.
But it seems kind of like a not very difficult way to, you know, provide something.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I would love to do that.
I feel like you could have it be like a gear swap almost,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Or I don't know if the schools can identify, you know, kids that could benefit from it. And I don't know behind the scenes how that stuff works. But, you know, and even for kids that, you know, maybe they don't have to qualify to get a free coat, you know, for the coat drive, they could be just other kids too.
I would also say that in the spring I work with 351 to like do a drive for Cradles to Crayons, which kind of does a lot of the clothing arrangements for children in Massachusetts. So I could definitely like work along you guys to like help that in the springtime when I do that drive.
Cool.
Thank you so much, Jordan. I'm on our national team there. But I really love this too because of my Cradles to Crayons hat. I know you can't like pass those items on anywhere else. No
Yeah.
one else wants an Algonquin sweatshirt.
Mhm.
Right.
So they don't even go to a Salvation Army stream. They just can't get used anywhere. But I was also thinking, I don't know. I'm gonna look to you guys for like if this is at all something kids would want to wear, but if they can't like rip something out, or if it's not the stitching, but if it's like the silk screening print, like, could we just do like, even just among us, like fundraise, you know, the $15 to get patches or something to cover it up instead as well. I love that idea, Sue.
Yeah.
Like really
Yeah.
love it. Yeah.
I'll give it some more thought on like how we could execute it, but you know, if other people have suggestions.
And I
Yeah.
feel like that's something that the school PTOs might be open to being involved in. And the challenge with that right now is because everybody has free lunches across the district, that's how they used to determine where scholarship needs might come from. So I know at the school level, at least, you know, I can only speak for one, they're trying to figure out and determine how best to get things like that in the hands of the people that need it and want it. I love it.
Cool.
What is that other, or there's another organization I'm thinking of, I will think of it, they may be willing, they may have names that could help us as well too, but I love the idea of doing that, especially at the beginning of the school year or really any time, and I'm sure there's probably families, if you thought about it, you could kind of come up with that may need them as well. I think it's really important to meet that in between need for the ones that don't qualify for stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a great idea, so, yeah. Let me see where I was. Anything else on that? Oh, I did have one more thing, I also, so for the calendars, we've got Liz's. I also have the Encompass calendar here. So Encompass is the group that meets with drug and alcohol prevention. And they're starting with cannabis as well. So cannabis prevention, so they do have their meetings, they vary, they're hybrid and they go some nights and some days. So if you do have anybody that's interested, they may wanna kind of sit on these meetings. I think we can get them in touch with Emily. I think the nurses must already be involved. Yeah, so.
I think Mary Ellen definitely.
Yeah, absolutely, so, and then continuing to get the word out, Liz has done the newsletter and the calendar, so just continuing to spread that, and I know on Tuesdays, Algonquin sends their updates and we get the district updates of things as well. So just continuing to get the word out, I think would be great. I don't think anyone realizes that we have all these services and that there really is a need in town for this type of stuff, so. So anything else?
We do, while we're together, I'd love to propose in either December or when we come back after the holidays. I believe we have a gap for a secretary position now.
That's what I'm so glad you made,
Um,
yes.
And I know the poor staff is adding one more thing to
Yeah.
managing our minutes on our behalf. And so I think put it out there.
Put it out
for
there,
thought,
that's a
yeah.
great, yeah, and that's a great idea to,
Yeah,
we'll get positions on the board. So, yeah, that's a good idea for January or February. Gosh, I think we're good. Anything else? Let me think. So we went over the calendars, we've got social media. So if there is no other business, let's go to the future dates. So, because we do have a change in location. So December 2nd is 7, it's at the library. Do you know what room?
I do not.
You do not, okay, so we will get back to which room,
I assume it's the big,
the big one, that's what.
yeah, because they have recording.
Oh, that's
And
right, yes.
The teen adult
Yes.
program room does not.
It's small too, yeah.
I assume that you'll need the recording,
Yeah.
capabilities.
So at the library, they'll still be hybrid, of course. At the library, it's the big room, when you walk in, it's to your right, so.
I guess we can double check.
Yeah, we'll double check, but so we'll be meeting there. January 6th, so after December, all our meetings are at the library. January 6th, we can kind of discuss in December if we do want to meet. I know that's usually a month that some of the boards will take off just with schools and just getting back in, but I'm happy to meet too. And then February 3rd. So if there's no other business or no other questions, we can call a meeting to adjourn. Can we make,
I'll make a motion. to-
yeah, I'm sorry, make a motion, so,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
and second,
Second.
all in favor? Aye.
Hi.
Yeah.
Have a great Thanksgiving,
Thank you,
ladies, if I
guys.
don't see you.